So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Faramarz Vakili, who's my counterpart in operation, has driven a lot of the innovations in our campus around energy and water use. And Faramarz, would you like to come up?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Faramarz Vakili, and it's a pleasure to spend the next 10-15 minutes with you, or whatever it's going to take. My wife told me that she's here. She said, you cannot even clear your throat in 10 minutes. What do you mean by you're going to talk for 10 minutes? So I'll try to be brief. But before I start, I want to show you some cartoons here. And these cartoons, we've spent a lot of time putting them together. So the condition for me to switch it from one cartoon to another is that I hear some laughter, at least a light smile. All right? You know, on the one hand, these are all humorous things and they provide a perspective. But the fact of the matter is that waste is stupid. Waste is our #1 enemy. It basically deprives us of all the resources that we depend on, life depends on, and it adds zero value. No society can use the word sustainability or have an illusion to be sustainable if they do not have a handle on their waste. Okay? And waste prevention is simply a state of mind. It's not a heroic action here. When you are sitting here and the lights in your office are left on, that's waste. When your computers are not being put to sleep, is waste. And I want to put that in perspective for you. In our campus alone, we would save close to $2 million a year if everybody puts their computers to a power save mode for 15-20 minutes of no use. 85% of the time, we are using electricity, sucking electricity from the wall for no reason at all, and generating heat so that we can air condition it down. So, several years ago, we had an organized campaign under the title of We Conserve to actually do something about this. And I'm very proud of what we've done as a campus. And I also want to tell you things that we should be doing and can be doing here. So I'm not going to go through the entire, all the various programs, but I want to give you some perspectives of the areas that we concentrate on. One of the most important ones is energy. We consume a lot of energy. We consume close to $85 million worth of energy per year. And it is a necessity for us to operate our campus, but also it is at times being considered as a luxury. We keep building buildings, we keep operating equipment that we don't need, and we keep building more. Somehow, somewhere, we have to have a discussion about the realities of life. But with that said, I want to give you a perspective of what we have done and what can be done. This graph here shows the square footage of our campus growing. That's from 2006 till 2010. Okay? We are about 19% more square footage than we did in 2006. Because of the efforts that we've had, the red curve coming from your left to right is the usage of energy. We are consuming a lot less than we did in 2006. In fact, if you look in there, we have reduced our consumption per square foot by close to, I don't know what the number is right now, 30-some percent, whatever, I can't see it from here. Okay? And as a result of that, we are safer in the operation of our laboratories, and we are more efficient. So conservation and waste prevention is going to add value, not reduce value. I want to point out a few things here. You see the curve comes down till 2013, and it goes back up. So 2013 was a sweet spot. Okay? We keep growing and we keep reducing. Okay? But that's not going to continue indefinitely. The fact of the matter is that since 2013, you are seeing that we go up. And that's not a surprise. When you build a building like Widmer, okay, huge, very energy intensive, and very necessary, I'm not questioning it. That is the price you pay for energy. And that is the price you pay from your budget. 80 million of that $85 million is to produce 4,635,000 million BTUs. For us to be warm, for us to have air conditioning, for us to have electricity. And with this comes carbon dioxide emissions. The illusion of a zero waste is nothing but an illusion if you look at it in its absolute terms. Because the fact of the matter is that as I'm standing here, this year, even with all these efficiencies, even with elimination coal use in our campus, we are going to use more than 500,000 tons. We're going to emit more than 500,000 tons of carbon dioxide. So the word sustainability for us cannot just be a joke. If we're going to have an organization and institution that puts that kind of carbon dioxide emissions, then we have to compensate for it somehow. And the way we can compensate for it is by producing 40,000 students in this world that get it, that can lead it in an efficient manner. And we need to put our research into becoming more efficient and better. If we don't do those two things, we will continuously have an unnecessary, perhaps, footprint, okay? And should not use the word sustainability. But if we do those two things, 500,000 ton would be kids' play. Let's talk about water. We have been doing a lot of water conservation activities in the past, and I think this graph should give you a perspective of where we've been and what we've done. Compared to about 10 years ago, we consume 42%, we've reduced our consumption by 42%. On a daily basis, the amount that we have saved is enough to fill 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. And last night when I was putzing with this thing, I said, all right, in the past 12 years, how much water have we saved then? 3.7 billion gallons. And what is that? It is about 13% of the water that exists in Lake Mendota. That's how much we've saved. And nobody has gone thirsty. Okay? There's more that we can do. But the fact of the matter is that had we not done this, first of all, the water that we're using, 1.8 million gallons a day right now, is costing us about $4 million per year. And had we not done this, add another $3 million to your little budget problem right now. So we need to know that energy and water cost money, and they deprive us of really very important resources. Reduce, recycle, renew, responsibly consume. These are all very important realities of life. Okay? And one graph that I want to show you here is about recycling. The blue bar shows the amount of waste that each year ends up in the landfill. Last year, about 5,000 tons. The other color tells you how much we recycle. So right now, of 8,500 or so ton of waste that we put out, about 43% of it gets recycled. And 56% goes to the landfill. Well, we are very good. And we should be proud of ourselves. And especially, you see, we're doing better. But I want to give you some facts as well. We have, in this university, the smartest students, the smartest staff, and the smartest professors in the world. And yet, we are confused about recycling. When you look at the trash and the trash audits that we conduct, it shows that 24 to 25% of that trash is simply recyclable. And I want to put recycling in perspective for you, please. Recycling a single can of soda, aluminum can of soda, will save enough electricity to save your television for 3 hours. And I want to tell you the other side of it. Our recycling bins are contaminated in the academic buildings by 30-some%. In other words, 30-some% of what's in the recycling bin is actually trash. That costs us money, because when we take stuff to landfill, for each ton, we pay 50-some bucks as a tipping fee. And when we recycle and we don't have a clean stream, the value of our recycling goes down. So how much does it cost right now in 2014 for us to have that blue line? Just a monetary basis. Forget about the environment. About $250,000. We pay $250,000 in tipping fee to put close to 5,000 tons of stuff in the garbage cans, right? The red line generates us close to $200,000 a year of recycling. So if we just make a single decision here as individuals, and this does not take years, does not take a huge philosophy. If we decide that we are going to recycle and we are not going to throw things in the wrong bin, this is very possible here. That is my dream. In 2 years, we will jack up our recycling to 88%. That's double the rate that we're doing right now. That's a challenge I would like to put for this campus. By doing this simply, just in its economics, I will tell you that we will generate additional $300,000 a year. Reduced tipping fee, increased recycle revenue. But again, these are all things. The most important asset, as I mentioned to you, is our students and staff. And without participation from them, and without resources such as money, these things cannot happen. To make the energy conservation accomplishments happen, with the help of the state of Wisconsin, we have put in $90 million of investment in the past 10 years or so. With an average payback of 5.5 years. That's very smart investment. But also, it's about our students and the future. As we speak right now, there are over 10,000 students and faculty members in our campus that have pledged to be a waste eliminator. Do these people know what to do? We need to help them realize the promise to themselves and to society here. This picture that you see here is basically a picture of students sitting there, turning a bicycle and creating energy, and there's a blender there to make smoothies. And there's a line of people standing there, okay? So it does not need a lot of technology, it just needs a state of mind to be dealing with waste. And awareness and education, I can't tell enough about it, because I think that this statement here will basically tell you what it really means. So one of the huge campaigns that we have going and have been going for a while is Be the We. Be a waste eliminator and be the Wisconsin educator. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the summer.